Matter of fact, speaking of trucks, I'm supposed to go look at 2 trucks today. I'm not even excited about getting another truck. I'm in position to get another truck. I dreamed about being here where I can expand and, like build a fleet of trucks or what have you. I don't even want it no more. When I didn't have it, I was dreaming. I wanted it. I just want to expand, this and that. And that's why I'm so frustrated about the damn election and where we are as a country with the economy and what have you. I'm frustrated because I finally got myself, through the grace of God, not on my own, through blessings, me taking advantage of the blessings God gave me and the gifts He gave me. I'm in a position now to do what I dreamed about doing. 1 truck at a time. Now here I go. I have a chance to get another truck. I got a co-worker who got 5 trucks. He want to sell 2 of them. Not because there's something wrong with the trucks. Good trucks. He asked me a few months back. I was like, nah, I'll think about it. He been at me hard to buy these trucks. Pretty much offering to damn near give them to me. Man, you ain't got to pay for them. Just give me a few dollars and just pay me, pay me when you get it. I'm telling you, A1 trucks, the problem is, what am I do with it? What am I do? Now, that's why I'm so frustrated, because now I'm in a position to live my dream, and I can't. I got somebody pretty much offering to give me a truck at the price and the payment arrangement. Like, man, you ain't got to put no stress on yourself to pay me. If you don't want to spend all your money right now just on giving me $15,000, whatever you want, cash for the truck, you ain't got to do that. You can just give me a little down payment and pay me when you get it. When do they, since when? No. He got trucks that ain't doing him no good. He got 5 of them. He got 3 of them that's kind of running, that he's working. The other 2 just sitting there. And I know they're good trucks. I know the trucks. I know them. I see them every day. I know these trucks. I know this ain't no somebody trying to sell me their junk. I know these trucks. The man ain't got no use for them. It's the same way he ain't got no use for them. I don't either. What am I going to do with it? We're in Biden and Harris economy. What am I going to do with it? And I honestly don't know who's going to win. So I still might not, I ain't got no hope. Like, I go and buy a truck and I know, cause in past times, throughout my time in trucking, it'll be slow, but it'll pick back up. So if it was like that, then I would still buy the truck and just let it sit and just have it ready for when it do pick back up. Now I'm at a point now, because this ain't normal. So I don't know if it's going to pick back up. I don't think it's going to pick back up. I don't think it's going to get no better than what it is now. I think it's going to only get worse.
It's your boy, Illuminated D. And you know what I'm saying? We back with another one. The first thing I want to do is thank you to everybody who's liked and commented. And to all the subscribers, Pops and I want to let you know that we really appreciate you. Because for you to come and consume the content, while we understand that you have busy lives, we appreciate you. Bless. So I was watching a video today, and Big Ward pretty much, he had mentioned something like very valuable that I think is interesting, because he pretty much talked about how he has a vision, or had a vision, right, of wanting to go into the trucking business. He put in the work, he put in all the work, everything, right? And all of a sudden, he was presented with an opportunity. All the parameters were pretty much being met. He was presented with the opportunity, and it came down to be that the parameters of the way that the universe has everything played out is that the opportunity allows you to get the trucks, but the circumstance of how the economy is running makes it to where it causes that notion of, dang, should I actually get into this investment knowing that, you know, the trucking companies or the shipment companies are having a harder time due to everything that's going on around the world right now. And I thought that was so interesting because a lot of times I think in life we have this grand vision of what we want life to be like, or how we would want life to be like, or what we want to do, right? And it's like we get to the goals that we want, like we get there, and then we're presented with challenges that we didn't actually see. And those challenges sometimes make us fearful because it's like, well, I've always dreamed of doing this, but will it work out for me? So then I started looking at the dynamic of when these things happen, how do we combat the mindset of, is it worth it or is it not worth it? Although it's a grand vision of mine, is it actually going to benefit me or is it going to hurt me in the future? And the interesting part is we can take this and we can apply it to almost anything. I like to use the real estate market because they've been saying that we're going to have a bubble pop. They've been saying the bubble's going to pop forever. They've been saying it. Now, we've seen it in the past, and everybody is scared of that, right? Everybody's pretty much scared of that happening, right? Everybody's scared of going into a business venture and it not working out. And I think in those moments, when we know we're going against the grain, and what I say is against the grain because, for example, they say that most minorities in our day and age will never be able to own property because the properties are too expensive and the interest rates put it so far out of reach that most people can't afford it. But then sometimes you have those situations where it's like, hey, well, look, the parameters were met. The prices are sky high. And is it really affordable? Is it worth it? Now, we understanding that the prices are overpriced, right? I would say they're lower now from if we look back at 2021. And then, but the problem is that the interest rates are outrageous, right? Well, then you have to start looking at it. Well, what happens when the interest rate goes down? Property value goes up. The properties are cheap right now and the interest rates are a little bit higher, but as they start to change, the property value go up as the interest rates go down, and as interest rates go up, the property value goes down. And if we start looking at it in this dynamic, yes, there's always swings and shifts inside the market. But the truth of it is are the parameters ever going to really meet the vision that we ever have? I think a lot of times what it is that we don't necessarily look at the calculation of, okay, what's our overhead? Is it possible for me to find my place inside the market in order for me to still be able to be successful while still realizing the challenges that may arise, but me having such a unique stance in the market, me having my company already set up so I can cut out the middleman, so I can be my own dispatcher. I can go ahead and book my own. You could be your own broker. There's so many different ways of being able to be successful while everybody's telling you, oh, it's not worth it. Because why would anybody put themselves in debt, right? Because think about it. There's so many people in the world that are like $100 million, $500 million, $1 billion in debt. But how is it they're still able to be successful and still able to have a great turnout and still personally capitalizing roughly off $200,000 to $300,000, $400,000 every single year? I think a lot of times it's whenever we envision our future, we don't ever calculate the uncertainties and the circumstances that are going to arise, which are challenges that actually strengthen us to help us to be more tactical, help us to be more versatile, help us to be more flexible, help us look at different creative financing measures so that we can still accomplish the same goals, even though the actual circumstance of how everything in the world plays out allows you to still be able to be successful. Because I heard Big Ward, and he kept saying that it's like everything came into fruition. He said, I want to do this. He got it. He said, I want to do this. His boy came through and said, look, I'm going to give it to you for little to nothing. But there's still brokers and companies out here that are still being successful. And we realize that the shipment, the overall cargo hauling, movement of goods, and providing services and being of service to be able to provide that ability to be able to move shipments is always going to be present in our world today. It's a $1 trillion market. I know most people will say multi-billion-dollar market, but really it's a $1 trillion market, because all the money is always going to fluctuate there, because we have to move food, we have to move clothes, we have to move goods, and sometimes providing the service requires the movement of equipment so that we can still be able to accomplish specific jobs. So that's always going to be present in the world. So no matter what happens, just how they say, people are always going to need to do a couple different things. They're always going to need to eat. They're always going to need a place to stay. They need supplies. So goods and services, you need those things. And not saying that this is the best time to actually do the investment. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that a lot of times I think we have a grand vision and we don't always calculate the uncertainties that come into play. So in calculating those uncertainties, sometimes it can actually move your sought to be progress backwards in order to put you in a more reasonable or more suitable stance to actually be able to get in, be able to thrive and profit. But I just thought that was really interesting that he said that, because I felt like I've come into contact with that so many different times where it's just like, man, I've said I wanted this, I wanted that, I wanted this. And every single time I got it, I was always faced with challenges and still get faced with challenges. But having the right plan and the right standard of procedure and also the right blueprint and ground layout in place so that you can still be successful even though it gets hard. Because we all want to be successful, we all want to be somewhere in life. But in order to do that, you got to do something that you ain't never done before. And that's the reason that we're doing this right here, right now. Just want to say, don't give up on your dreams, because it's all part of the journey. Bless.